Good afternoon, everyone. Chris has not joined us yet. Not sure if he's en route or whatever it may be, but I thought I'd kick off early because I see Mr. Fred Hutterson. Hello, hello. Randy Rodé, Marco, and I know there's a bunch of other people that are there. So, guys, hopefully Chris will be joining us. He hasn't said otherwise. And we will be answering your questions either way. So please do put your questions in the live chat. And also do check out ODYS. I can nearly touch it. For anyone who is interested in age domain names. So check them out, guys. You get a £100 sign up bonus for simply just going on and looking at the marketplace, which is not a bad deal. But we also have Maeve. Good to see you, Maeve. Richard Johnson. Good to see you, Richard. And Daniel Coughlin. So, if you're just joining us, you're unsure of what goes on, Chris Palmer should be here, hopefully. And we will be answering any questions you want to throw at us. In the event that Chris doesn't come, I will still be answering any questions you want to throw at us anyway. So please do put your questions in the chat. They are important, guys. Chris Debuty, how are you? SEOGs, I like that. Craig Mullins, how are you, mate? Hope you're well. Dave Hennessy, good to see you. Business growth ready. Evening from sunny Birmingham. It's not actually that sunny up here tonight, believe it or not. Your wife just made it to Edinburgh, which is always good news. We will make sure we look after her up here. Why am I not in Seville? I wish I was, but sadly couldn't get tickets. So, yeah, it would have been amazing. I'm actually gutted looking at Instagram, Facebook, and everything else, seeing the atmosphere over there and that heat is just insane. So would have loved to have been there. But sadly, it wasn't to be, but tickets were going to be extremely hard to come by. So it's one of those things. Trusted broker reviews. Hello. Chris Debuty on GMB messaging. We get spammers asking for reviews, or they leave bad reviews. Do you think CTR, even from spammers, is enough to keep on? I mean, reviews sometimes are hard to stick anyway. So I think obviously spammers are making new accounts. They're not getting their own way, and they leave you bad reviews. I'm not sure how many of them would stick. I would hope that Google would be able to monitor it. I know certainly from my perspective of making fake personas, that sometimes reviews are hard to stick till you warm up the account, build a bit of trust and all that kind of stuff. So the same should go for the spammers, but I know there'll be certain instances where that doesn't happen. Yeah, you've just got to just report it and stuff like that, and hopefully Google do their bit to clean up the system. But yeah, it's a bloody nightmare, that one. But it is what it is. Don't give in to them, though. Is the CTR enough to keep the messaging on in the GMB or turn off? To be honest, I've never done any single variable testing, though, Chris, in terms of is the CTR enough coming through the messages. I'm not so sure that would be enough for me to keep it on. I would probably switch it off personally. I think just getting traffic through your GMB in general, whether that's looking at images, looking at directional requests, or whatever these people are doing, whether it be spam or not, is enough to force your GMB up. I would switch it off. More hassle than it's worth, to be fair. So that's just my opinion, though. Joseph Valaba, how are you, mate? And Sack Lane, Please make a practical video build, silo structure. I do have videos on silo structure and topical clusters and stuff on YouTube already, but I may do another one if there is enough demand for it. Just let me know in the comments, guys, if you'd like to see a standalone video. Not right now, of course, but over the coming days or weeks for a practical video building a silo structure on an affiliate website. What I would say though, Sacklane, is people say, can you show me this on an affiliate website? SEO is SEO, so it doesn't matter whether it's an affiliate website or a local plumber's website. A silo structure is a silo structure. It's not going to change from site to site. Also, just if you're like, Craig, just give me something I can do, go and look at the competition and look at their silo structures. Always a good way to look at it right now as well. So always look at the competition. Tripathy Computer Institute has 2 GMB profiles. Now, whenever anyone types in the keyword, my old listing gets displayed. What should I do? If the old one's getting displayed, I would just remove the other one, unless it's at a different address. Yeah, that's what I would be doing. If you only need one listing up there, get rid of the other one. If it's another version of your business at a different address, and I loosely use that term, at a different address, then you can push both of them up, but you're going to have to get citations and everything to the other address if that is what's needed, and build a G stack, get some traffic through it, and all that kind of stuff is what's going to move the needle with the other one. Trusted broker reviews. Would you focus on building new links from new websites one times, or would you also build links multiple times from one website? I want to mix it. So typically, I'm not that fussed on getting multiple links from the one website. I think one is enough. Is there any point, for example, Market Watch being quite an easy guest post for anyone to go and get out there? Would I need to have 2, 3 or more links from the one website? Absolutely not. Once I've got one, I'm not really interested in getting another one. I think, you want to get as much variation when it comes to links as possible. So more links from different IP addresses, different domains is what you want. Because obviously you look at Ahrefs and you see people who've got like 1 million backlinks, and they're from 237 referring domains. I think that's quite easy for Google to say, right, what's going on here. So I think you do want to mix up and make sure you get as many different ones as possible. I think that keeps it as natural looking as possible, would be my advice on that. But guys, keep your questions coming. I will go quick fire through as many as you like, within the hour period, of course, because there's a very important football game on tonight. So keep the questions coming, folks, and make sure you do give us a little bit of love on the channel, whether you like or dislike the content. Either way works for me. Bit of engagement, so hit that like button as well. But going back to Chris the Booty, get rid of the messaging, mate. More hassle than it's worth, especially if you're getting blackmailed. Anything's possible now on the internet. You're just not surprised by anything. I mean, I've not personally had that happen to me, but some people just go to lengths to get reviews and just blackmail others. It's madness. And Joseph Vilaba, I am from Scotland, Glasgow in Scotland, which is the north side of the UK. So the northern part of the UK, which is why the accent is, I'm not going to say strange because it's normal for me, but I do get a lot of comments about the accent. People are like, what is that accent? Like, what is happening there? Liverpool accents are pretty crazy, but Liverpool's northwest of England, I can understand Liverpool people quite good, but they speak quite fast at times. The accent is crazy though, but I think in the UK, you can move 30 miles, 40 miles, and the accent's completely different. Even like Liverpool, Manchester, I'm not sure in terms of miles. I think it's something like 30 miles apart, and the accent's massively different. And then, you know, the further up you go, the weirder it gets. But yeah, it's a good old accent though. Maeve, no, no, no. If I had to pick an accent that I don't particularly like, that would be the one. That would be the one. Oh man, I don't know what it is. It just grates on me. I like the Irish one though, Maeve, and I'm not just saying that because of you. I've always had a thing for the Irish accent, just pretty good, but it's quite similar to Scotland as well. So there you go. Maeve, it would help if you even spoke to me. I've never even heard your accent, but I know you're Irish, so, well, I know you stay in Ireland. So I'm just not going to dig myself any more of a hole other than that. We'll leave it at that, Maeve. So, and I know you ain't. You're Irish. That's it. Randy, for YouTube videos, do you think I would have any issues if I had several videos with different titles, but the same description and content? I am. So clarify this for me, Randy. Are you talking about using the same video, different titles, so the video's the same, and you're using the same description? Because I think that, for me personally, would. But just clarify that for me first and foremost, if I'm on the right understanding of what you've just asked. Manchester is more similar to London, but it's different a little bit as well. Yeah, Manchester's not as strong. So back to Randy. Different videos, but same description. I think you probably would get away, but I would try and change it anyway. You know, even if you were to get a description through Jarvis or something, I would try and change it for sure. I thought you were talking about having the same video and all that as well, and just trying to target different keywords. I was going to say that's problematic because you just don't get the same impact with the same video a second time around on any platform, including TikTok. You know, so I have one 6-minute video that we posted in the channel, then cut it up into several short videos. Right, so I do a lot of YouTube shorts. Well, when I say I do, my video person does that. So they do that, but we do try and change the descriptions, Randy, just to try and make it a little bit more unique. That's just my own thing on it. But and try and target different keywords out of that as well. So we do post a lot of shorts, but we try and get the variety in there, even if it is using Jarvis to spin up those descriptions. That's just my opinion, though. I think doing the same description is going to be harmful and not get as much of an impact. And you are actually a Brummie. Oh man, Maeve. Nah, I'm looking, but yeah, sometimes I tell you, I know a few people from Birmingham. Some people are not as bad as others, but that footballer, I don't know if you're aware of him, but Jack Grealish, it's that accent. It's like thick Brummie that honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't handle it. But there you go. But Yeah. Come on, you're teasing me. I'm not having this, mate. I need evidence. I need documents. I can't just accept that you're a brummie now. Paul Hogden, good evening, old boy. How are you? Hope you're well. So, Joseph, is it worth to manipulate the CTR if you're in the first position just to stick there in very competitive niches? Personally, Joseph, you obviously do want to consolidate any positions you've got. With CTR, though, I wouldn't be doing too much of it. I would potentially continue doing what I'm doing if I'm in position one and just having a small amount of, extra traffic coming in and doing stuff. So yes, why not? Because sure as hell, if the SEO underneath you knows what they're doing, then yes, you want to do that. But also things to look for. Would I do it if I didn't have to? Then the answer is no. But in competitive niches, all someone needs to do is really increase their paid ads, which could then knock them from position 3 into position 1 because they're getting all the CTR through the kind of paid ads or whatever, the social media ads, whatever they're doing. So they might not even be aware that that's what they're doing to then slot into position 1. But if you're doing competitor analysis, then look at these people and see what they're doing with their paid ads and stuff like that. Because essentially that could knock you off a position 1. And if that was the case, and I'm looking around going, right, he's behind me, what's he doing? And he's doing social and all that kind of stuff, then for sure I'd be keeping it going. And yeah, just give myself that little competitive edge. And as I say, sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be CTR in the form of a kind of bot or whatever. Potentially just email marketing more. Push notifications, add these things into your marketing mix, just to make sure that you do get more hits than that person below you. So that would be my advice. But if it was someone who wasn't doing that much, then nah, I'm not that fussed. I would be confident that I would stay there, just continuing to build links and doing everything else. But yeah, if you think they're doing CTR and doing a bit of paid and all that, watch yourself. But guys, keep the old questions coming. Want to rattle through a lot more? While we can get through them dead quick. So do not be scared to ask anything at all. Just whack it in. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I know a lot of people probably watch this and go, I don't know if I want to participate and ask this. That's it. But trusted broker reviews, do you have any case studies or experiments on tier 2 or tier 3 link building? Not that are publicly available. I don't particularly show projects that I work on to the public for obvious reasons, because you just get jealous people who try and sabotage your campaigns and stuff. But something I can consider doing a video on, doing a test. I do a lot of testing in my mastermind group, do a lot of case studies and showing people how different things work in my private mastermind, which doesn't go on YouTube. But yeah, nothing public because of the unfortunate people out there that come for you or whatever. So don't have any case studies or experiments as such, but it certainly would be something I can consider doing a video on as an experiment so that people can see a video. I just don't like to show money websites or live projects for some dirty dog to come and hammer me. That's always a problem, because I've had a guy sending GSA at my website for 4 years solid, a million links a month just at my own shitty SEO website. That's not even my money website. So you have to be careful, mate. So hopefully you understand the reasons why. But no, I'll definitely consider doing a kind of test or an experiment for sure, and do a video on it, because I do need to freshen up certain aspects of the content, and that's a great suggestion. So I'm just going to take a wee note of that. Experiments. There we go. Because if I don't take that note, I will literally forget and not do it. So, can't mind like a sieve. Old age. So, Fred, how do you combat negative SEO when someone sends you massive amounts of porn links? Just disavow them. Fred, I think also Google's clever enough to kind of see what's happening in a lot of cases, but I also just back that up with a disavow. I pay a guy to do that for me, Rick Lomas, just because he uses LRT. He's got access to LRT and all the other standard tools to be able to do that. And yeah, it's a lot of people saying, these don't work, disavow, don't touch it. For me, I certainly think that it does work, and it works very well. And that's how I would combat it. That's the purpose of the tool. So I see no reason not to use it, and I've certainly seen gains from it on other projects as well, including my own. So just disavow the shit out of them. Robert, hey Craig, saw you in a boat with the Uzi. Do you have a private mastermind, a special one, smaller group, and more private? I do, Robert. Go to craigcampbellmastermind.com or just go to craigcampbellseo.com. On the very right hand side, you'll see a mastermind one. It is a paid mastermind, $69 a month, but it is a smaller group of people. And it is private. None of the videos are shown to the public for obvious reasons. People are sharing their clients' websites and all that kind of stuff. But we do test it in there, have little competitions. Who can do this? Who can do that? And a lot of great guys in there offering different services and stuff as well. So it's not just for education, but there's good vendors in there that do certain things. And yeah, there's some decent, reasonably well-known names in there as well. So that is the private mastermind. And we have probably 40 or 50 people in there. And good bunch of people in the WhatsApp group and all that stuff. So fairly engaged bunch of people, and a lot of smart cookies in there. So doing all sorts of weird stuff. So it's not bad. And probably doing about two sessions a week just now. I was doing 3 or 4, but it was information overload. So people were people have asked just to do 2. So we don't want to bombard people, but I have done 64 shows this year alone. It started when did it start? I think it started in January. Probably started in January. I've done 64 sessions, just demonstrating stuff and going through things. Got Q&A sessions in there. We roast people's websites. We do GMB stuff, whatever. A whole bunch of stuff in there. So it's decent, mate. So feel free to join. Daniel, I've seen problems with Google Analytics 4 tracking events with selected cookie notification plugins. Any recommendations for cookie plugins that don't affect event tracking? To be honest, I have not come across that problem to be able to, give you an idea. Not something that I have come across. But if anyone in the chat does have something they can help Daniel with, please do put it in the chat. We always want to try and help each other as well in here, but certainly not something that I know of a recommendation for you. But let's see if anyone in the chat does. They may very well have something, mate. But I'm not going to lie, Daniel, as an affiliate marketer, I do not tend to go too crazy with Google Analytics. I'm always just looking at the money I make more than anything, but I'm quite lazy that way. Paul Lovell is saying you can use GTM. There is a setting. Thank you very much, Paul. Chase, I am good just now, mate. I don't know if Chris is going to pop in. He done it last week and popped in half an hour in. But appreciate the donation. Guys, Chase is a good, solid guy as well. But I'll bear you in mind, Chase, if in the future I do need an extra guest, because we've not caught up in a while anyway, Chase, so it could be good. But Chase does a lot of good stuff. Massive fan of Chase's work. Do check him out, not just because he's made a donation. I think I've appeared in Chase's podcast, he's appeared in mine, and just a guy that's given a lot to the community in terms of his stuff. So not just because he's doing his donation, genuinely solid guy there. So check him out. Joe's Cranes, hello, how's it going? Glenart, what's your take on SEO entity stuffing? I'm using some tools and finding the better ranking sites use many more entities on the page, but some of the entities are not related to what we are doing. So whilst things like this happen, Glenart, I would try and remove anything that wasn't related. Just because I think that will become problematic further down the line as things change. Because it's working just now, doesn't mean it's always going to work. So if there are entities that are not related to what you're doing, for me, I always look at SEO with common sense. What's the point of having them there? And I get, people will go all aggressive and just slap any old shit about. However, I would try and keep them related to what you're doing is the best thing I can say, because just doing mass spam effectively is going to catch up with you, and that's that's the way it goes. I think entity stuffing and entities in general, people are not taking too serious, and you probably can abuse it to a certain degree just now. But as I say, the more people evolve and the more people that start to learn and understand how entities work and everything else, I do see that becoming a problem. And Google have got to obviously make a decision on how they deal with that. And I can see it going the same way as anything else, whether it be link building, whatever. You want to have good quality, relevant links, so to speak. So I think that could be the same for there. But as I say, if it's working now, you might get away with it for the next couple of years or whatever. But I always try and tread on the edge of caution and common sense. ZD Electrical, how are you, mate? Hope you're well. Joseph Villaba, would I recommend any proxy service for traffic boost? The problem you've got with proxies and locations, what traffic are you trying to boost? Is it GMB stuff? Is it just in general, just mass amounts of traffic going to kind of page? You can use micro workers for that rather than proxies. It's something that I would try and utilize. If you're going to be doing GMB stuff, then 4G proxies are working better. You can go and buy your own kit from Proxidize, or you can just rent them from other people. I know there's a lot of people, doing that. In general, blazing proxies work very well for me if it's, just to mix things in, if you're using CTR Booster or whatever. But if it's not for GMB, then I would try and mix it up between micro workers, blazing proxies, and any other kind of sources of traffic that you can try and hijack. If it is for GMB, then I do think mobile proxies work a hell of a lot better. You know, is someone from, say, Zimbabwe hitting your GMB in Glasgow in the UK? Is that going to help? I don't think so. Obviously, Google can see the IP address and location and all that stuff. So I think that's where mobile proxies work a lot better from a GMB perspective. But everything else, blazing proxies, but also mix it in with micro workers. The great thing about micro workers is you're paying people to do the actions that you want them to do. And the IP range is going to be massively varied. So that is why I think microworkers has been for several years a great source for CTR manipulation. And no problem at all, Daniel Coughlin. Glad someone was able to advise something. Paul Lovell, being a smart guy, was the one to do that. So thanks again, Paul. ZA Electrical, all gravy. Same to you, Craig. So you keeping busy down there, mate. Doing your electrician things. How's that all going for you, mate? But guys, do keep your questions coming. Please do give us a like on the video as well. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Do you know, this is a weird statistic, 99% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. How weird is that? It was really fucking weird. So yeah, a lot of people don't subscribe. Although I've got a lot of subscribers, the percentage of people that watch the videos against who's actually subscribed is insane. Absolutely insane. So please do subscribe, guys, is what I'm trying to say. And please do ask more questions because we still have 25 minutes left. Still no sign of Chris Palmer. Don't know what is going on with Chris, but yeah, he's not even read my message, which is very unlike him. And yes, Paul, it is a crazy statistic, 1% of the traffic, or something like that, something ridiculous. So I've got a lot of lurkers who watch videos and stuff like that. And you know, the amazing thing is as well, when we finish up doing a live show and you say goodbye to everyone, see the amount of goodbyes you get even when you've went off air. There's people watching it that obviously don't ask questions, which is fine, by the way. No pressure to ask questions or not. But a lot of people do it and don't talk. You wouldn't even know they were there. So, yeah, it's interesting. I get that people would probably just rather listen in the background or whatever. But yeah, weird statistics. But YouTube's one of those things, and I do it myself because I've thought about this a lot. When I watch YouTube videos, you know, lying in bed at night or whatever, do I subscribe to the person's channel? Nah, I don't. It's just not something I want to be rammed down my throat all of the time. So it's yeah, I'm selective. If I want to come and find your videos, then I'll search for whatever it may be. But yeah, I don't subscribe to a lot personally either. So strange. Upworks or Fiverr for people to run Facebook and Insta ads to a page. Either or, mate. You know, there's going to be good and bad on both. Just be careful who you get, because there's a lot of people that will say they can do it and maybe don't have great amounts of experience. So just be careful who you use. Ask for some examples of work and whatnot. But yeah, Upwork or Fiverr, either or. Marketplaces are always good to go to see what's available out there if you're not wanting to pay crazy agency prices. So these marketplaces I've found a lot of success with, and found some great people on there. $7.50 a month just to run your ads. It's mad. It's mad. And I get that you're probably grinding all day and can't be arsed doing it yourself. Maybe pay someone to set it up, and then you can go in and tweak it. Might be a good option. But yeah, try and find someone that can do it a lot less than that, because it's a lot of money to pay for just social media ads. But Joseph, GMB with 4G and CTR booster, I've tried before and it didn't work well for me, and still don't know why. Do you do private consultation for this kind of stuff? I do private consultation, Joseph. Not trying to sell to you, but yeah, you can go to my website and book a private consultation. However, the problem, and I'm not going to take a private consultation just to tell you how to get CTR Booster to work. If you go to the CTR Booster Facebook group, they will help you get it working. Now, were the proxies working properly? Did you have enough proxies? Did you send enough traffic to it? You know, all of these kind of things are things that I'd be looking at before I'd pay someone for private consultation. CTR Booster is a great tool. And Jeff Dunn saying, Jeff, the admin is a legend. You know, the guys that have got CTR Booster, Garrett Acots and stuff like that, taken over probably, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. And they've done a lot of changes, and CTR Booster is working very well. In general, just now, it can be a pain in the ass to get up and running. I have had problems myself. I've actually got a problem right now with my CTR Booster, which I'm waiting on a friend coming to sort it out before I throw my computer out the window. But Nuke package from CTR Booster runs properly. The VPS is the only one that works. Tried 5 different VPSs. I reckon Chris has dumped me for Chase. Nah, Chris is a good, solid guy. He would never dump me. But I don't know what's happened with Chris. He is very, very reliable. So hopefully he is okay and nothing bad has happened. I'm sure he'll be fine. Something's just come up, been caught in a call, or you know what it's like, someone's fucking website's blown up or something like that. So it could be something ridiculous like that, but he's just going to say, dude, I could not turn up. And 2 in a row. Was it 2 in a row? I know he'd done it a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure it was 2 in a row. Maybe not. Can't remember. I cannot remember, but nah, he would normally say, oh, I can't make it or whatever. But these things happen. You just got to keep running with it. Mr. Mullins. But going back to the CTR Booster thing, are you using a VPS? Is that the problem? There's just so many problems with CTR Booster, but rather than paying me to guess what the problem is, you're just as well saving your money and going to Jeff or in the group to get that working well for you. Because you're saying there, the location of your VPS, I'll give it a try. Make tons of questions, not only CTR Boost. Now, listen, I do hourly consultancy, which you can get through my website, and you can ask whatever you want. Just write your questions down, come to me, and I can smash through as much as I possibly can for you within the time period that you're paying for. But yeah, so feel free to do that at any time that I can in the future. But also, it's not something I try and ram down people's throats. I'm here if anyone needs me. However, coming to me to fix your CTR Booster is madness when you've got free help from the guys in the group. And it's probably something ridiculous like your VPS or something that's posing the problem, something that I'm not clever enough to identify. Let's be honest. So you can do that in the future, Joseph. Just go to craigcampbellseo.com and you can book it in on the consultation page. So there's a little calendar and all that down there if you do need it in the future, mate. And as I say, can talk about whatever you need to help you move forward with whatever you've got on. But guys, keep the questions coming. We do have 20 minutes left. No questions have went unanswered. If you guys are asking questions and I've not answered it yet, it's just because it's not appeared. So if you have asked something and it's not shown up, please do put it into the chat so that I can give you guys as much value as I potentially can. So please do stick them in the chat. Joseph is using a VPS in Portugal and trying to manipulate in the USA. I'm in the Facebook group of CTR Booster, but it seems somehow the local IP address of my VPS was leaked. I'm not going to sit here and say you have to use a VPS in the location you're targeting. Because I've got a VPS in America and I've manipulated a lot of stuff in the UK just for goofing around. But I also do have CTR Booster on a physical computer just next to me as well. So, yeah, check it out though. Identify, use process of elimination to try and figure out what the problem is, but I can assure you that tool does work very well and a lot of people are using it. So make sure you take advantage of that. And your best advice or strategy, non-SEO, to drive paid traffic to a page, most cost effective. I mean, things like Quora ads can be very cost effective. YouTube ads can be cost effective, where you can place your ad on a very relevant YouTube video. Now, I'm not sure in terms of electricians whether that's good advice or not, but you've got to think outside the box, and that would probably be the ones that I'd be looking for if you're looking for cost effective. But I don't think you're going to get any better than Facebook or Google ads themselves. I know they're not always cost effective, but they are where the real potential visitors for you are. For me, when I see people say what's the most cost effective or what's the most cheapest ads, I can say to you, doing, spend £500 a month in Google AdWords and you'll get X amount of leads on average. And you might say, Craig, I only want to spend £300 a month and I still want that amount of leads. I can't guarantee you that from another platform because I would be looking at a Quora or a YouTube or whatever, and who's to say those platforms are going to work better for you? So I think you've also got to try and test different platforms, because I've always been quite ignorant to certain channels, if you like, and not until I've actually tried them, I've been like, fuck, that's really good. That worked really well. So don't be ignorant to trying other platforms as well. So it's difficult because I've never really done electricians as such, but as I say, most people will be doing AdWords and Facebook, and I think for me, why try and look for a Quora or something more cost effective? Because is it going to convert? Is that traffic going to convert any better? That's another one I actually never gave a thought to. Bing is the most cost effective, as competition is less and viewership is not a big step down from AdWords. So Bing, I've not personally looked at Bing for a long time, but is the amount of traffic that goes through Bing higher than it was, say, a few years ago? Because I know there was always like this it's less than 10% that goes through Bing. So for me, that would always be where I'd be like, is it worth it? But if you're getting great success with it, then happy days. Great advice there. Bing is something you certainly shouldn't ignore. And going back to what I was saying, try different things. Ask people for tips that are doing, roughly what you do. See what they're doing and take advantage. And Bing is much higher than 5 years ago. Good to know. Good to know. I know it's still easy as fuck to rank on Bing. Exact match domain names still work a treat on Bing as well. But yeah, don't do a lot of paid on Bing personally. Joseph, have I tried RSOC's 4G proxies? I've not. And residential ones. I've got residential ones. I have not tried RSOC's 4G proxies. I have my own 4G proxies and mobile phones and stuff like that. So that's what I use. So go to Proxidize if you want your own setup. I just don't see the point in paying someone else a lot of money to effectively rent two of theirs because I want a bigger range of proxies. So yeah, makes no sense. Paul Ogden, I run AdWords to get a definitive list of contemporary search terms for SEO, ideal for local businesses, as a lot of the terms don't show up on Ahrefs or SEMrush. Good strategy there, Paul. I think this is the thing when you do very local stuff. People say, well, there's no search for it. You bet your bottom dollar there is. And I know guys that have got massive websites that target each and every area. In the UK, and if you were to look at Ahrefs or SEMrush and the search volume and what they perceive to be the organic traffic the website gets, it's nowhere near to being close. So it is what it is, but go local is another thing. Go after those smaller areas. And Glenart's saying he spends $1,000 a day on Bing and he's getting back 6.5 in revenue, which is not bad at all. Well, depending on the profit margins and all that stuff. But if you're getting an ROI, then happy bloody days, Glenart. That's all I can say. That's what the game is all about. Spend $1,000, get whatever back, and turn the screw. Spend $2,000 a day. Can you get 13 grand back? And try and diversify your traffic sources and stuff as well. There's the way to do it, people. ZD Electrical, am I better after the vid, Craig? Yeah, I'm nearly 100% perfect, other than that shitty little cough, which is just annoying the life out of me. But nah, I'm all good. Not been positive for a few weeks, and just probably more lethargic than anything. I wasn't particularly that ill with it this time, but now I'm on the mend, and yeah, it wasn't as rough this time around. Is all I can say, but still not the best thing to be having. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, just something tickling the back of my throat all the time. Hence why I keep stopping for water gaps and stuff. But nah, Dune, I think you should be certainly looking at Bing, going local, and trying to take advantage of that as well, and see where you go from there. And if you're getting a positive ROI, fill your boots with leads, mate. That's what it's all about. And that's it. But guys, keep questions coming. 11 minutes left. There's 74 of you watching. Give me something to talk about. Because I can't even just talk to Chris. Because he's not here. Anyway. What are your opinions on link building tools such as RankRX and MoneyRobot? do you have any better suggestions aside from those two? So I like Money Robot to a certain degree, not for pointing at the money website, of course. RankRX is one that I've not used for years, never really get into it. I do like GSA, mainly because you can scrape your own list and submit your links to whatever the hell you want to submit it to. Whereas if you're using Money Robot, you have to submit to the websites that are on their list, so you don't have that control. You've also got tools like SEO Autopilot, which have got a lot more inventory, constantly updated, and stuff like that. So SEO Autopilot and GSA, two tools that I would still be looking to utilize on a daily basis. So nothing against RankRX. I know Holly Starks is still a fan of RankRX and uses it to her advantage, but we've all got our own personal choices, and yeah, I think GSA never gets up there because it's a bit more of a learning curve, whereas Money Robot and stuff, just start a new campaign. It's basically press a few buttons and off you pop. But they're all good for tier 2. They're all doing the same thing. And yeah, just got to be powering up whatever guest posts or whatever you're doing. Does social stacking works in 2022 for SEO? Jatin. I know people use Google Stacks for SEO, GMBs, and all that stuff. Social stacking, never heard of it. I genuinely haven't ever heard of that search term. I can only imagine it's interlinking your social media websites, but given the fact that a lot of them are no follow, and yeah, I've never heard of anyone stacking up their socials. Never in my life has that ever come across up in a conversation. So I'm going to say absolutely not. But hey, I may be missing a big trick on that. But social stacking is not something I've ever heard of. Sadly, Craig, you might be interested in Aisha Pierce. Caught onto her from Niche Pursuits. Great method for your content writers. I will have a look. The exception I mainly use them to put up my guest posts, just have to filter through the bad bunch of websites. So you're doing the right thing, the exception. There is no amazing tool out there. I think if you do want a little bit of quality, not quality because that's not the right word to use, but something different from everyone else, then GSA is the best one for that because you can scrape your own list or buy your own list rather than going on to Money Robot and doing the same shit that every other Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing. So that's the way I see it. It's just trying to get something different from what everyone else is getting when it comes to those, and that's where I feel that Money Robot's fairly restrictive. Hence why something else with better inventory is what I'm always looking for. ZA Electrical just built a stack yesterday, ready to blast it with GSA from tomorrow. Did you build that yourself, Dune, or did a particular person who we all bumped into in Amsterdam build it for you? Just out of curiosity. Is it a cloud stack or what? Can you give us what kind of stack you built, Dune? Are you using Stack.io? Are you doing your own shit? Have you got your own formula? What are you doing? And feel free to say pee off, I'm not telling you. But the exception still feels that cloud stacking can be very strong. AWS and Microsoft, Azure, and Google are still for certain. Safer did it for me. No, I don't have the time to build it. That was just out of curiosity. But yeah, it's always good to outsource that. YACSS is awesome. Randy, tell us what the hell that is. What's the full name for that? Because I've not heard of YACSS, I don't think. Start is good, Mr. Hogden. Paul Clark, when looking at entities to add to a page, do you look at the confidence scores? Yes, would be the answer. The thing with entities is you have to pick which ones you want to use for, which ones you want to go for, and it's. I'm just looking at this thing from Randy Rodé, but yeah. So I think you would have to look at the confidence scores, and do it that way. Certainly when I'm building entities, certainly from a knowledge panel perspective and stuff like that, there is a chap out there called Jason Bernard, and he's got this kind of tool that looks at, what entities you should be getting, to be able to trigger the knowledge panel. But it's the same kind of thing, and it's yeah, of course you want to look at the stuff that's working, and it's giving you that value rather than wasting your time going through a whole bunch of garbage, basically. So that is my advice. Cloud Stack Builder from Jesper Neeson. I will need to check that out. Cloud Stack Builder from... I don't even know why I'm looking for that, but I always like to do my nosy. But how to start SEO career. Watch a lot of videos. There's a lot of information on YouTube. There's courses out there. Maybe do an internship somewhere. Is always a good place to start. Probably starting local, trying to understand how to optimize the GMB listings. It's always a great place to start. We'll get you cash flow and whatever. But again, there's lots of free information out there. Is the free information always up to date and 100% accurate? Probably not. So maybe potentially a couple of wee courses here and there, and try and focus on something and then broaden your skill set out. And the exception, YACSS is looking great, Randy. Also came across it recently. I don't know why I've not come across this. YACSS. Big Jesper. Bloody hell, he's talking about how to build a...
Hello, SEO guys. My name is Jesper.
How to build a 100-page website in 8 minutes. Using automated link building in YA CSS.site. So I'm going to have a look at that, because if smart guys like Randy and stuff are in there, then I want to share the action too. But yeah, I'll check that out. Appreciate the share on that. No proxies, no installations, no worries. Yeah, all the work done for you. Click generate. This is what I love. This is what I love about the game. See someone who's clever enough to be able to build shit like this, to make your jobs a lot easier. It's insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Love it. Love it. So I will have a look at that, and let you guys know if it's a success or not. But I'm sure it will be. Are you using it already, Randy, or have you just stumbled across it? Have you seen good results from it already, just out of curiosity? I don't want to waste my time if it's not great, but I'm sure it will be. Sites per month as well. That looks fine Founders offer 30% discount on all subscriptions. Founder 30. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig in. You've got me intrigued. Not some trash. Plus, you can build various links, link wheels, and link cloud sites. Do you know what? I'm buying it now. Fuckies. Another great toy. That's the way I see it. Zeddy Electrical. Do you know the fucking worst thing is? I don't even fucking do GMBs, and I end up buying all this shit. We're using it now. Just grabbed it about 2 weeks ago. You can see the change log in the footer. I spoke to that guy before actually, and he seems like a very smart guy. So yeah, I'll certainly give it a whirl, even though I'm not going to do a whole bunch of stuff with it. I like to just play with tools. So yeah, it's a toy to play with. So yeah, give it to Chris. No, he'll blow it up. He'll get it all fucked up for us. Nah, I'm only kidding. Chris is a good lad. But on that note, guys, we are out of time. But it has been a pleasure, and it's always good for me to learn something about a new tool on a live as well. So appreciate that as well. But guys, it has been a pleasure. We will be back at the same time next week. And if you've got any other questions, please do shoot me a message or whatever. And thank you very much for all the questions and everyone who has turned up today. So we'll catch you all next week. Cheers, guys. And thanks from the Brummies as well. See you later.